Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm doing a video reaction to the Spider-Man No Way Home Villains panel. I'm excited about this, and I'm actually doing this per your request. I'm responding to Sophie in the comment section of an earlier video. I appreciate the request, and I'm happy to oblige. You guys best be believing I'm reading those comments. So leave me a comment in the description down below if you enjoyed this video, if you have any more requests, and let's get into it. Alright guys, I'm excited to see what these three veteran actors had to say about working on Spider-Man No Way Home, why Thomas Hayden Church and Rhys Ifans aren't in this, and why they're not top billed in the promotional campaign like these three are is anybody's guess. Maybe that'll be answered when we see the movie, but like I said, excited to see what these guys say.
Tom, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, I am Tom Holland. You might recognize me as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and I am here to tell you that Spidey's back for an all-new adventure in Spider-Man No Way Home. I know people say this a lot, but I mean it when I say that you're going to see things in this movie that you've never ever seen before. I'm talking about
I believe that.
sandstorms, the multiverse, which, okay, you might have seen them before, but I promise, not like this and not together. Also, Peter Parker is finally heading off to college, and the word is out. So yeah, everyone knows that he is Spider-Man. So throw your fan theories out the window. They're probably not true, or are they? And get ready to see one of the most ambitious films we've ever made. An incredible story,
still teasing
with
the
lots of
worst kept secret in Hollywood.
high-flying action, mind-blowing effects, and some insane villains. No Way Home is the culmination of the Homecoming trilogy and the start of a multiverse of possibilities. Now I have the honor of introducing some legends. Please enjoy this exclusive panel with my dear friends Alfred Molina, William Defoe, and Jamie Foxx here at CCXP.
Whoa! Oh my God! This is amazing! What excited you most about returning to Spider-Man franchise and reprising these iconic roles?
You know what, I was excited knowing Amy for years, man, and knowing what she's done with this franchise, and she was explaining to me it was gonna be hot, you know, and I didn't have to be blue and things like that as far as my character. So
Jamie Foxx is so excited that he doesn't have to be blue
and I get
anymore.
a chance to hang out with these.
What are you looking at?
You told me, these incredible thespians. But I mean, to walk on set, man, and to see these guys, I literally like bowed to them, and we just been having a ball.
William, how about you?
Willem? You know, when I heard it, I thought, wow, that's pretty nutty. I got speared pretty good in the first film, but I thought, okay, they can figure out a way to bring me back. But it was really the pitch. And like Jamie, I know Amy's history. She walked me through it, and then John, the director, kind of pitched the whole idea before I read a script, and it sounded like a lot of fun and a good solution. And then when we went deeper into it, I liked the idea that I was returning to something that was same but different. It's a return to something I did before with that kind of history, but the spin, there's a spin on it, and that appealed to me.
Alfred?
At least he's
about
honest.
the money.
But I will be interested to see what that spin William Defoe's talking about.
Oddly enough, Willem and I were kind of joshing the other day about how 20 years since his first Green Goblin, 17 years since my first time as Doc Ock, and these are the longest options that a studio has ever exercised on actors. You know, it's like we've been waiting. But it's the material, the pitch was excellent, and I, to be honest, when the idea was first suggested, my first thought was, hang on, I'm 17 years older, I've got chins, I've got wrinkles, you know, I mean, what are they going to do? And then, of course, I suddenly realized, wait a minute, they've got the technology. This isn't going to be a problem. But it's been very nice to come back to something that is familiar, but at the same time completely new, because the technology has moved on phenomenally since in the last couple of decades, you know, and so that's it's kind of still exciting.
How did it feel to put the costume back on?
You want to know the truth? Nobody knows how uncomfortable those costumes are. But they look good. We are actors. You forget about the discomfort, and you know, it's part of it. But the costumes are much more comfortable than they were before. I remember the initial fitting to create the costume for the Green Goblin, I stood there for 8 hours and they put different preformed pieces on me. Now, they scan me and they can design it and then make the costume and then try it on me. It's a huge leap in the technology. And they're more flexible. We can do more things with them. Also, I don't know how much we want to fool with spoilers, but
Oh, we love spoilers.
the look's a little different. Old Norman and the Goblin are further down the line, and they have
That's
a few more
interesting.
tricks up their sleeve. So it's not an exact. There have been upgrades on the costume, let's say.
Alfred, how about you?
Yeah, well, the main difference between that film and this one is that the tentacles are all kind of CG now. They'll all be superimposed on me at a later date. Whereas in the original movie, they were mechanical, and I had them attached
Practical
to me. and we
tentacles
had
in that. I
puppeteers
did not
and
know
all
that about
stuff.
Spider-Man 2.
So
That
that's
is
the big
insane.
difference. But
Now, those
it's just a
effects-
great story. It's a
We've
wonderful
come leaps and
world to
bounds.
be in. You know, it's
But
we're
I mean,
having-
it's still
if I say so
those
myself,
effects
we're
in those
having
older
fun.
films still hold up. I watched those
Jamie?
recently. They don't look
I'm
terrible.
happy we got a brand new start,
practical
brand
tentacles,
new
oh my
look.
gosh.
The blue when we did it the first time, it was look, man, I didn't care. I was just happy to be in this wonderful chorus, and it was like you said, it was sort of like 2 or 3 hours or whatever like that. But with this new is fly. The homies is like, okay, we get you now. You know, when I was blue, they still
He's
roll
so
with
hung
me.
up on being
Okay,
blue.
you blue. But with this one, it just feels more comfortable, and I think it feels more today, modern. Like, not trying so hard. Like I sort of related to R&B back in the day. In R&B, you used to have fringes on your outfit, and and like shoulder pads and things like that. Now you can sing. So it's like now we're just singing.
What do you love most about portraying a villain?
The thing about grounded villains is that, and this is what's so wonderful about the villains in the Marvel universe, if you like, is that so many of them become villains almost reluctantly, almost in spite of themselves. An accident happens or some terrible tragedy, and it transforms them, and that's what makes them very playable, because it's not just mustache twirling. There's some real depth to it, and that's what makes them interesting. I mean, in a lesser environment, us as villains, we would just be functionaries. We would just be there to, get the plot going. But here we've got real storylines. We've got they are real people, and so it's
Green Goblin has a case to state this time.
Yeah.
He's trying to make his case. A philosophy of life. It's not just about some kind of abstract muscle twirling power grab.
I think we all know.
Are you suggesting I'm
MCU.
a twirling power grab? Now
It's
look
great
here, I'm
at
classically
giving
trained.
villains backstory and personality, and
But
not
now a
just using
tricky
them as a
one.
plot
Which
device.
villain is the most terrifying?
Super relatable.
Man, it's
villains
crazy.
in the
It's
MCU so
crazy
far,
because,
so
like I said, we've just been
excited to
watching
see
Willem,
these guys
and it
kinda
seems
reimagined.
personal. because with Electro, it's like Electro and us. It's to the world. The world did me wrong, but when something is personal, and you could go all the way back to Shakespeare, when something is personal, and that either that jealous thing, there's nothing that can beat that. No matter what costume you put on, no matter what you say. So when he speaks, he has the power, and I think you really. But I'm being
Okay,
right though.
sweet,
It'd be different
sweet.
if I was
Don't get
blowing.
embarrassed.
Like here's the thing. But if I was
Sounds
blowing,
good to me.
But here's the thing. But if I was blowing smoke, he'd know it. Here's the thing. It's personal, and anytime you can get a character to be personal in a movie, it has the most weight. So.
CCXP is a fan event. Is there anything you'd like to say to your Brazilian fans?
Can't wait to find out why Goblin speaks with
if
Spider-Man
I
is
may
so personal.
speak purely for myself, I think there is, at some level, because we're professional people, there is some level where we don't want to let them down. We want to give them something that is going to be worth their while. But the fact that a huge percentage of the audience are comic book fans who know this world, they love the detail, they love the kind of the inside baseball of it all. I think that's important to us as well, because we don't want to disappoint that side of the storytelling either. And so I think it's a sort of symbiotic relationship, really. They give us the chance to give them what they want, and that's I gotta tell you, it's just so much fun.
Whoa, thanks, guy.
Well, that was really cool, actually. And I do have a few takeaways. They mentioned a few things. One of the reasons, when they're asked why they came back to the role after so long, they all mentioned that the pitch blew them away, which I think we already know. This Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be an incredibly epic movie as far as just the action in it goes and the changes we see for the MCU moving forward. But I think there's also a really grounded storyline in this film, and I think it centers around loss and adjustment for Peter specifically. So I'm really excited to just, I think this is going to have some really heavy dramatic parts to it that people don't necessarily expect from a Marvel movie, but more so a Spider-Man movie, because they're typically lighthearted, and Spider-Man's always been he doesn't take it a whole lot seriously, and he jokes a lot, and he's always being sarcastic and stuff. So I'm really interested to see Spider-Man have to deal with some consequences in this film, and I think that's what we're going to get. In addition to that, the changes to the suits that they mentioned. Now, we've all heard that they're going to get upgrades to their suits, and we've seen Alfred Molina's Doc Ock in one of the trailers absorb some of the nanotech off of the Iron Spider suit. Whether or not that was intentional, whether or not the tentacles did it because there's a scene when it shows the nanotech kind of applying itself to the tentacles and they're turning red. He's looking at it and he's almost kind of like wondering what's going to happen, or he's confused, or I'm not sure. I get that, his facial expression in that scene just seems like he's, if he did it on purpose, he would probably be smiling and just be like, have a different kind of facial expression than he does in the scene. The one he has, to me, seems like he's surprised or not sure what's going on. So I don't know if the nanotech transferred to the tentacles intentionally to shut him down or to stop him, or if he pulled the nanotech off and they absorbed them, he absorbed them on purpose, or if the tentacles absorbed them and he doesn't know why they did it, or how the nanotech is implemented. Can you just imagine Doc Ock's tentacles being able to, come apart or go in and come back out? It will, or something like that. This nanotech is amazing stuff, and Peter's suit can obviously just appear, basically. It just applies itself to his body out of nowhere. Could you imagine if Doc Ock had that ability? That would be really cool. Or if his tentacles had the ability to lengthen far further, or to shoot, or just, man, so many different implications on how his suit may be upgraded, but I don't know if it's going to be an upgrade. But, they do say that they all get upgrades. So there's that, right? I'm really interested to see, and that they do have more tricks up their sleeves. We see Jamie Foxx's Electro in some of the new promotional material. He has an arc reactor on his chest. And I believe that when he comes into this film, he's probably blue, and he gets that arc reactor, and that's able to kind of contain a lot of his energy, and that's why he ends up yellow. And he's able to control his powers much better than he was able to in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And he's probably one of the reasons he was angry in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is because he couldn't really get close to anybody. Nobody could touch him. And he was already shunned by the world, essentially, and not noticed. And that just exacerbated that problem for him, and it made him so angry. And maybe that arc reactor he's able to, again, kind of like Alfred Molina, is able to put the tentacles away. Maybe he's able to control the electricity so that the potential of him having an actual relationship with somebody at some point in his life has been restored, and that's why he's so adamant that he's not going to get sent back, or that they're not, he says in one of the trailers, "You're not going to take this away from me." So maybe that's what he's referring to, this second chance to be normal and to be noticed. And then the Green Goblin, his personal vendetta against Spider-Man. Obviously, if you've seen the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, you understand that relationship that they had, and how angry he was. But to my recollection, it didn't seem like a personal vendetta against Spider-Man, really. So I'm not sure. You hear some voiceover in one of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailers where he says, "You're trying to take what you want, but the world won't give it to you," or something. I think he said there's a different spin on his character, this time around. So I think maybe something clicks with him, or there is a change in perspective for William Defoe's character in this film. And I really think he is the main lead villain in the film. And I think if someone is going to teach Tom Holland's Peter Parker that consequences come along with being Spider-Man, it's going to be Green Goblin. I think and even Jamie Foxx attested to that, you know, that personal vendetta against Spider-Man really brings a lot of weight to the role and to the villain, and to just when he speaks, it carries more weight than maybe the other villains do in the film. And I've heard that Goblin's much scarier in this film. So yeah, super excited. This is a really fun panel to watch. I love watching actors talk about their roles and about, you know, how they get into them and what's different 15, 17 years later. It's amazing that these guys are even capable of coming back. William Defoe and Alfred Molina are almost 70, for God's sakes. Like, all this did really was get me way more excited to see the film. So thank you for recommending me to watch it. It was really cool. And like I said, I do always read the comments. Speaking of that, guys, if you have any feedback for me, any recommendations, drop me a comment. I definitely go through those. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more videos, and as always, catch me back here for more reaction action.